Yamaha FJR. This is a 2013. We're at Adrenaline Service and Dyno in Salt Lake City, Utah. That's Rick having hooked the bike up to take it for a pull on a base map. This is my install. I did PC5 with an auto-tune module as well. And we're gonna see what it pulls with the map that's on it now. It's not a base map, it's actually coming from Power Commander with an AFR set up more or less for these cans. These are Yoshimura R77s. It's running a Fram high flow air filter on it. I can tell by the way the bike drives here in Utah. This bike was in California. It drove a lot better there, thicker air, lower density altitude. Up here, it's wheezing a little bit. We'll see what it does, have Rick fine tune it. It's kind of a process to tune it, because he's going to look at a bunch of different parameters and see where the air-fuel ratio is at different RPM curves, right, Rick?
Yes.
It's a sick bike though. I love the FJR1300. Great sport touring bike. Probably my overall favorite. It does have a Shirai battery in it, in case you're wondering. It lightens that front end up just a little bit. The bike has a 145 horsepower motor in it, is what the specs say, if I remember right. We are at altitude. It is a shaft drive, so you're going to lose some through that. I love shaft drives though for this philosophy of use.
Inserts removed?
No, inserts are in them. Those are car compliant mufflers on there, so they're legal in California. I would like to take the inserts out, but you can't. They're pretty much riveted in there. It's a pain in the butt. Look at how sweet those powder coated rims look.
Oh, so this is what you picked.
What are you talking about?
Here. Down here for this map, this is the map you picked, isn't that right?
This is the one that came from Power Commander directly. I told them what I was running and they mapped it to get me close.
Oh, okay.
So that's a Power Commander map on there right now. Not a stock map.
I went and redid that.
I saved this map to my laptop already, so you can modify this map or create a new one if you want.
On the ground, one on the gears.
I got the handguards on for winter driving. This thing drives at 20 degrees Fahrenheit. This would be the reference pull on the 1300. To a man's bike like this?
Whoa, man. A woman's bike?
Did you say woman?
Maybe for my wife.
I'll race you. You get your Harley out and I'll race you.
Up the ramp, I'll do that. Don't feel bad though.
You might beat the KTM though.
Yeah.
Rick and Adrenaline.
Don't do this at home. So we're sampling right now at an idle of where we're at.
Yep.
And now we're just going to run it through the gears and test it.
This is how I like to see a dyno video. It has detail, shows you what's going on. Not just 30-second shot with a cell phone with an abrupt ending. I hate that.
Okay, we're gonna do a horsepower run. I just warmed the bike up and ran it through the gears to make sure all the gears are warmed up, so the whole tranny's warmed up as a unit, not just as a engine warm up. And I felt the thermostat open and everything's really good. We want to we've got both the machines hooked up. We're going to do a horsepower run, and when you do this, we want to really establish what the bike's doing down the road as if we're riding it. And that's what we get on the dyno, is I can simulate riding it in a really safe environment. Whoever has a dyno, that's what they should be doing, is able to tune in a safe environment. That's what we want. Out on the street, you can't do that.
Horsepower run.
Yes.
Fingers crossed. I see a decent number. All this work I put into this bike. Dropped out at like 33 miles a gallon.
We're running way rich.
So that
I can see it.
Okay, cool.
We're way rich. And I think that's a safety issue for Dynojet to build the maps, because they don't want to give you a lean and mean, because then everybody else is going to start
your fan switch so we can hear you. What'd you say?
Dynojet's going to make sure it's a good tune that's
safe tune.
Just good. Yeah, safe and good.
Yeah.
Because everybody's going to go home and try to mess with it and play with it, and they'll always save this one, but you know they're going to download this one and then they're going to see what they can do to make it better without a dyno. But they'll always go back, oh, I like this one, they'll dump this one in.
So off that run, what do you think you can tune it to? Do you have any gut feeling?
If I get 10 more horsepower, that's like a grand slam.
Rocking.
So let's see what we get.
Okay, again, it's 145 at the motor, shaft drive. We're at 4,300 feet elevation. 127 is not horrible. That's a pretty good pull.
Right, and also when they do 145, if they say that's off the crank, the dynos that they put up on the motors simulates the transmission and the rear tire, because if they just put,
they do.
If they spin that motor up without flywheels, without a crank, without a load, that motor's going to come apart. They have to put some kind of load on it.
Okay.
When they dyno it. That's why they put it on a dyno, engine dyno, because it simulates reality of life. You can't just spin a motor up and say, oh, at the crank I'm getting 145. There's got to be some kind of load on there to do that. Otherwise, the motor's just spinning free. Just start tuning, guys. We're going to start.
This is actually going to be the end of the horsepower run. Any last thoughts? What'd you think about Power Commander's tune they put on? Pretty close,
I like
right?
It's pretty flat. It's clean. And it's good. You're not going to hurt your bike with it. That's for darn sure.
So they know what they're doing.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure it's better than the stock one. We could take it off and test bike.